lovely day. It's not even hot. No army vehicles on the road. No signs of disturbance whatsoever. This is my one criterion of knowing whether or not someone is interpreting Torah correctly. Whether or not peace surrounds them. The idea that someone else is going to come and bring you peace is an absolute delusion. You're learning Torah correctly if you are creating a world of peace around you. If you're doing so, then you can urge other people to consider learning in the way that you learn. Right? It's like people who have attained health. They cannot attain health for you. They can tell you how they attained health, and then you make a free decision about whether or not you want to do the work that they did. We are very close to the Lebanese border, and when the war broke out, most people in Sfat were absolutely hysterical. They're going to bomb us, they're going to this, they're going to that. And I said to them, nothing will happen. Nothing burgers. Now, there are those who will say, well, the reason why there hasn't been any bombing in Sfat is because Sfat is of no interest to anyone. Well, that's not true, because Lebanon bombarded Sfat in the last war. And also, and I'm not giving away any state secrets, everybody knows this. This is the main road that leads to the northernmost hospital in Israel. So there would be strategic reason to bomb it, but it's not being bombed. And I'll tell you why it's not being bombed. Because there is someone sitting in Sfat and learning Torah correctly, and HaShem is not going to disturb her learning with nonsense. It's that simple. In the exact same way that an executive sees to it that an employee who is doing a very, very good job has top conditions for getting the most productivity out of them, HaShem does exactly the same thing when one is learning Torah correctly. You're put into absolutely ideal conditions to continue doing what you're doing. HaShem is getting the most from you, and your position is secured. You've got tenure. It's that simple. I have one criterion for whether or not someone is correct in their Torah interpretation. Are they making peace, which is what Torah is all about? I will defer to anyone who can show me that they are capable of creating peace on a higher level than I can. Then I'll know that they really are on a higher level of Torah learning. I have to defer to them. That's my criterion. But so long as the people who are criticizing what I'm saying are either at war or facing the ravages of war or have to go out and fight in the political arena every day, or have to go out and fight in the economic arena every day, excuse me, I don't take that seriously. If you're living in a world of chaos and danger and illness and unnatural death, forgive me for not taking you seriously as some kind of an authority on anything. Yeah? When you can do this in the middle of a war, I'll take you seriously. There has never been any rabbi ever who was able to do this. If there was, you would have known about it, because HaShem would have put them in a time frame in which they were able to videotape the actual results of their learning and show it to the world. Everybody about whom you've heard secondhand, you've heard about secondhand because HaShem did not consider what they were saying important enough to be proven and eternalized and video recorded for anybody to download all over the world. So until somebody is able to actually prove that they can hold down this level of peace in the middle of a war, please forgive me if I don't take you entirely seriously. My teachers are those in Israel who have attained the highest levels of peace. They are my role models, they are my teachers, they are who I want to be when I grow up. I do not want to be, when I grow up, like rabbis who have to snore. Hello. I do not want to grow up to be like rabbis who have to snore, that are all involved in the bursa, that are all involved in politics, right? That are counting the number of students they've lost in their yeshivas and how many are in the hospitals. Forgive me, but those are not my teachers. My teachers have all arrived at the level where they make peace. My teachers are people like Yeshayahu. My teachers are people like Eliyahu. Those are my teachers. They are who I want to be when I grow up. Delusions cannot be video recorded. If you look at my videos consistently, and there's what, I think 370 days of the war or whatever it is, and everybody in the beginning was saying, yeah, there'll be peace, and until it hits, you'll see. And I kept saying to them, nothing is going to hit. I'm telling you, nothing is going to hit. And I can say something like that because I learned Torah on the level on which I can prevent it from hitting. And if you were learning Torah correctly, so could you. Now, there will be those who will say, well, the reason why there's peace is because Blinken is running to Lebanon and he's running to Iran, and there are all kinds of deals and so forth and so on. Those are all outside trappings. None of that would have been successful had I not been sitting here and learning Torah. Wouldn't have worked. The only reason why on the outside it looks like that, like they are the ones that are making the negotiations and the deals and this, that, and the other thing. And by the way, those deals aren't even successful, yet and still there isn't a war, is because people need an excuse for being able to explain how miracles can happen. So HaShem gives them a, well, it's because of this negotiation, this deal, that general, this general. No, I'm telling you how it really works. There's one little old lady sitting in Tzfat learning Torah correctly, and that is why there is peace here. Shabbat Shalom, Umvorach.